Holdfast Nations at War has a lot of classes, from the lowly sailor to the prestigious captain, each with their advantages and disadvantages. Each class also uses a variety of weapons to further their uniqueness. This video is for the naval and coastal siege classes. I already covered the land and siege classes in a separate video. If you'd like to see that video, the link is down below in the description. All classes have a variety of equipment. In order to switch between each piece, you can either scroll or hit the numbers 1 to 4 above the letters on the keyboard. For musicians who want to play music, they have to first hit Q, then left click in order to select a song. For classes that use a spyglass or lantern, press F for spyglass and G for lantern in order to use. The amount of each class that is allowed on a ship is relative to the size of the ship, which means for smaller ships, there are a smaller crew, and for a larger crew, for a larger ship. Now to the guide. I will start with the naval units. The captain, the commander of a ship. A captain is similar to an infantry officer. The captain has one ability. Captain. The captain is a commander of a ship. A captain can take command of the wheel whenever he wants to, even if somebody is steering the ship. The captain has 3 traits. First, resilient. The captain has a strong sense of duty. The captain's HP is slightly increased. The second is distinguishable. The captain stands out from the regular sailors. The captain is a different color on the minimap. The third is sword specialization. Captains excel using swords. Their damage is slightly increased when wielding a sword. The captain has 4 pieces of equipment: a sword, a pistol, lantern, and spyglass. The role of a captain is to command and lead his men to victory. There is only one captain per ship. Marine, the infantryman who fights on land or at sea. Marines have 2 abilities. The first, guard. Marines are duty bound to guard their high command. Marines passively buff HP of nearby captains. The second is swim. Marines are familiar with the ways of the sea, which means they can swim for a short amount of time. Marines have one trait, bayonet specialization. Marines excel with using bayonets. Their melee damage with bayonets are increased. The Marines are equipped with the bayoneted musket, a muzzle-loaded firearm with a bayonet, which is decent at killing enemies far away or up close. The role of a Marine is offense or defense. For Marines in the naval battlefield game mode, they are tasked with shooting at any enemy who dares to get close to the ship. For Marines who are on the coastal siege, they are tasked with either attacking or defending the coastal fort. Marines are found on both modes but are found in greater numbers on coastal siege. Sailor, the main brunt and force of a ship's crew. These men excel at doing various tasks on a ship. Sailors have 3 abilities. The first, deckhand. Drilled with the knowledge of how to operate a ship, sailors are able to raise and lower sails, launch rowboats, and do a variety of ship-related tasks. The second, artillery basics. Sailors are trained with the use of cannons. Sailors are able to shoot cannons. The third is swim. Sailors are familiar with the ways of the sea, which means they can swim for a short amount of time. Sailors have one trait, hasty swimmer. Sailors are lightly equipped. Sailors' swimming speed is slightly increased. Sailors are equipped with 4 weapons, a cutlass, pistol, one-handed axe, and a pike. The pike is useful for keeping enemy boarding parties off the ship. The role of a sailor is support, to do the dirty work of the ship, from raising and lowering the sails to firing cannons. The number of sailors are relative to the size of the ship. Adept Sailor. An Adept Sailor is an NCO of sailors, relaying the orders from the high command to the lowly sailors. Adept Sailors are the same as sailors with abilities, traits, equipment, and roles. Carpenter. In the future, they will be able to build and fix ships and destroy cannons. The carpenter role is to support, to fix destroyed sides and cannons to help the crew. The carpenter is equipped with shotgun, cutlass, and lantern. The shotgun is useful for taking out clustered enemies. There's only one carpenter per ship. Violinist. The violinist isn't just for jaunty dancing tunes in small taverns. Ship crews need their morale regularly kept high by the ship's musician prancing around the deck. Violinists have a variety of deckhand outfits which they will use to keep the ship moving. Violinists have 2 traits. The first, musician. Violinists inspire the men with their music. Violinists can increase the firing reloading speed of nearby allies when playing music. Violinists make infantry more accurate. Everybody knows that. The second is resilient. Violinists have a strong sense of duty. Violinists' HP is slightly increased to give them a better chance of survival in battle. The violinists are equipped with a violin, pistol, and cutlass. The violinist's role is to support, to buff nearby allies with their music. There's only one violinist per ship. Now for the coastal siege classes. The coastal siege classes is a mix of land and naval classes with their own unique classes. I will only cover the classes that are unique to coastal siege. Customs: the quick-footed infantrymen who protect the coast and excel at killing infantry. The Customs have one ability: swim. Customs are familiar with the ways of the sea, which means they can swim for a short amount of time. The Customs have two traits. The first is skirmisher. Customs are drilled in skirmishing tactics. Their musket reloading speed is slightly increased, but their melee is decreased. The second is light-footed. Customs are fast and nimble. Their running speed is slightly increased. The Customs have two weapons depending on the nation: a bayonet musket, which is decent in both fire and melee fights, and the French Customs are equipped with a sabre briquet. The role of the Customs is to defend the fort from enemies or counterattack to take back points. Coast Guards: the main defenders of a nation's coast and excel at killing infantry and using artillery. The Coast Guards have two abilities. The first is artillery basics. Coast Guards are trained with the use of artillery. They are able to fire cannons. The second is swim. Coast Guards are familiar with the ways of the sea, which means they can swim for a short amount of time. Coast Guards have one trait: cannon specialization. Coast Guards excel at the use and firing of artillery. Coast Guards can fire and operate artillery pieces at a faster rate. The Coast Guards have two weapons depending on the nation: a bayonet musket, which is decent in both fire and melee fights, and the French Coast Guards are equipped with a sabre briquet. The role of a Coast Guard is to defend the fort from enemies counterattack to take back points. That is it for this video. I'll gladly update the guide if any traits or abilities change for any of these classes. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the battlefield.